think we're live. We're alive. Picard isn't because he's dead. Again, this might be the third time. I am drinking some Geek grind coffee. All hail blend, and it's waking me up. It's getting me going. Yeah, I'm drinking it out of a Doctor Who cup. No Star Trek cups today. We're here reviewing Star Trek Picard, Season 2, Episode 6. They felt so strongly about this season that they decided to drop a Season 3 trailer, a teaser trailer that they obviously could have filmed while Jonathan Frakes was directing some horrible episodes. But they are filming these two seasons back to back. I knew that. So, yeah, they know it's a piece of shit. Like, that's unprecedented. That does not happen ever. But this is the most inexplicable thing. That this is on the air. Like, that this shows like this keep getting new seasons when it is clear nobody's watching. And if nobody's watching Picard, then who in the hell is watching Star Trek Discovery, Prodigy, Lower Decks? Oh, I know. I mean, like worldwide, what, 100,000 people, 200,000 people? Show us the numbers, CBS. Oh, I'm sorry. Show us the numbers, Viacom, CBS. So, I'm sorry. Show us the numbers, Paramount Plus. Yeah, they didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to write. So they just gobbled together Star Trek First Contact, Star Trek 4 The Voyage Home. Now they're ripping off 2010. They ripped off Mass Effect. They ripped off Anas Abdeen. I mean, at least if you're going to steal something, be good at it, you know? Like, don't rip it off and be shit. So this episode was written by not even a writer, not even a staff writer, a story editor for Desperate Housewives. That's right. And I looked up the other young lady. I couldn't tell you what those shows were, but they weren't science fiction shows. They weren't Star Trek shows. And again, it's like all the IMDb credits you see from Kurtzman Trek. It is editor, staff editor. I got somebody coffee. And now I'm writing Star Trek because I got a pair of teats. Well, there are plenty of women out there who can write some pretty fucking awesome Star Trek. Just not the women here. Not the men either. I mean, the one thing Star Trek has proven is women can suck just as much as men. I mean, it's a matriarchy that's run like shit. It's a female-centric show. You remember Alex Kurtzman's infamous interview from a couple of years ago. It's a female-centric show. There was never any Star Trek toys. Remember when he said that? I remember when he said that. Wait, hang on. I think you can even see one on the screen. My thumb's gonna get like, that's not a Star Trek toy on not a, can you see my thumb right there? I'm not gonna move everything, but it's the Mego Enterprise bridge, not the reproduction one, the real one. I have a whole section on my wall right there of not Star Trek toys. It gets better. I'm going to tell you about the episode. It's how many times can I say this? This is the worst writing on television. This is the dumbest fucking show on Star Trek is now the dumbest fucking show on television. They collected a bunch of retarded emus and they write shit. I don't know why I keep notes. I don't know why I bother. Fuck. Okay, here we go. There's not much. There's like, it's a page and a half of notes, right? So, episode. What did we do last week? Oh yeah, we introduced another story element. So, the girl who's the key to everything is not the drummer from Scott Pilgrim. She might be later. It's Renee Picard, the ancestor of Jean-Luc Picard, who also ran into Adam Soong, the ancestor of Dr. Soong. No, not the Dr. Soong from Picard Season 1. The ancestor to that one. So it's the ancestor to the ancestor of Dr. Soong. He also has a Soji daughter. They all look alike, so they must be very incestuous. I don't know. And they're right around each other, too. It's really amazing. We set up this entire episode where Rios gets captured by ice and just let go with no point at all. It was just ice bad. Seven of nine like doesn't do anything. Like she's like, I don't know why Jerry Ryan came back to like sit there and nod at like spastic. Rafi gets all the lines. She's terrible. She's terrible. And they're all buddy. Like this is season 10 of Picard, and this cast has been together for so long. So Renee Picard, Picard's descendant, is on a trip to Europa. Remember, you were supposed to stay away from Europa in 2010. That was the monolith's deal. It's like, we're good. Stay away from Europa. She finds a single-cell microorganism, whatever the fuck, and it's going to do something in a gazillion years when it fucking evolves. Or maybe it's a particle of a fucking Borg or something, and it's going to assimilate. And I hope it does. I hope it assimilates this whole show, to be honest with you. But I don't know. So I think Red Letter Media's theory was the original, the Borg Queen that shows up in the beginning, which is clearly not the Borg Queen that we're with now, who is now dead and living inside of the drummer from Scott Pilgrim. Red Letter Media thought that was Picard's mom. And then they thought it was the drummer from Scott Pilgrim. I am back to thinking it's Picard's mom. Or Picard's mom just killed herself. I don't know. It's starting to look like, Picard's, and I know why they okay, so the reason Red Letter Media thought the original Borg Queen in the first episode was Picard's mom because she said, look up. But remember, the Borg were connected with Picard's mind, so they could have probably caught this from a subconscious. Or I know in the last Red Letter Media review, they said they like the Borg Queen. I think she's the most fucking annoying thing in this fucking show. And that's saying something. So I think Picard's feeling guilty for his mom's suicide now or something like that. And this is Q's way of having him deal with it. I mean, like, bruh, you're 97. Sorry, like, things happen to your parents. Things happen to my parents. You move on, you know. It's sad, you move on. I know, I'm just an asshole. ASSHOLE. Okay, let's see who's here, by the way. Let's get to the chat. Hi. Hello, chat. How are you? Sexy people, you. All right, so this starts out with Picard dead again. Blood coming out of his mouth. He's laying on the ground. Something's happened. They're all, Admiral, wake up. Admiral, wake up. And we're like right in the middle of the action. Then it's like 34 minutes earlier, which is exactly how they started the fucking season. And it's just this Jar Jar Abrams Kurtzman Trek from fucking, that was like really interesting in 2000 fucking what, when Alias came out, 3, 4, 5. So here we are, 2022, still pulling out those same old Unreliable narrator tricks, doing stuff out of time, blah, blah, blah. It's boring. Yes, this episode was written by Cindy Apple and Jane Maggs. I never heard of them. And it's really just an episode of other people talking about other people. And I'm not kidding. It's most of it is characters talking about other people. And slowly moving to something you don't give a fuck about. So yes, the Borg Queen is living inside of the head of the drummer from Scott Pilgrim. So Picard's on the ground. And then they go 35 minutes earlier. They can't get it. They have to go into the super secure party in the 21st century that the 24th century people are having a really hard time getting into right now. So, the drummer from Scott Pilgrim got herself caught, and the security officers, in their infinite wisdom, brought her into the security area and just handcuffed her to a chair. And she's talking to herself the whole time. And the security guards, this crack security team, who is sitting 2 feet away from her, doesn't notice that she's talking to herself. So Borg Queen, they need to get to the computer so they can mess with it, so they can get the security, so they can implant the security that Picard and everybody can go into the party. So long story short, they make it happen because the Borg Queen gives fucking the drummer from Scott Pilgrim superpowers somehow. So her living in her head gives her superpowers. One little thing, if she can give her superpowers, then why do they need to audibly talk to each other? If she's living in her head, they can just fucking think. They wouldn't even need to talk, and it would be faster. It would be faster. If you live in somebody's consciousness, you don't need to go, hey, Bob, in my head, let's jerk off. He would just start jerking off. It'd be really awkward, but, that's the way it goes. I guess it really depends on what you're jerking off to. Okay, so Picard and Laris start talking about Renee because she is so amazing. She taught herself sailing at the age of 10. Taught herself fluid dynamics. I don't even know what's fluid dynamics, like being able to pee correctly, like not hit the seat. I don't know. What's a fluid dynamic? But she taught herself that at the age of 11. After she taught herself sailing by herself at the age of 10. She taught herself chess. She taught herself Cantonese. And then by the age of 14, she was a test pilot for fucking NASA or something. And then she went to university. Don't know how that works. Oh, she's also freaking bipolar, schizophrenic, manic depressive. I don't know. The kind of things that would not let you be an astronaut. Now, there is a way for this to work. Absolutely. You show, not tell, you show like she is a prodigy. They exist. They exist in reality. Kids who can like write operas at fucking 6 years old. They just have more access to the brain, whatever. People who've gotten in accidents, wake up knowing how to speak Chinese, shit like that. But let's just say she's a prodigy, right? And with a lot of prodigies, there is mental health issues. There's like with the genius comes lack of maturity. That's a common thing with a lot of very, very smart people. They get frustrated with people. They lack patience. They're childish in a lot of ways because they were so smart. They never got time to actually grow up. Mark Wade is one. He's a psychotic dude. I don't think that guy went to college. I just think he was like really smart and like worked his way through high school. I think that was the story I heard. Might be somebody else. I don't know. Don't really give a fuck. But you know what I'm talking about. I brought it home. So you show that she's a prodigy. Give me a couple scenes like this is like just a freaking special person, So we're gonna have to deal with the idiosyncrasies because she's so fucking brilliant. And you show it. You don't tell us. You show us. But see, when dumb people write dumb science fiction, they can't figure this out. So instead, we have Picard and Laris telling us how amazing she is. And Laris is like, I've never talked to her, but she's just so great to be around. And it's awesome. But when she tugs on her ear, you know she's about to go into a depressive episode. So if you are the supervisor supposed to guard this timeline and keep this person from self-harm, you know, that's part of your job. I can't interfere. So you went there to preserve this timeline and this one thread, which is her, but you're going to let her, what, kill herself? But here I go, wanting things to make sense again. Silly me. Okay, so a drummer from Scott Pilgrim pulls out a magic bullshit machine out of her fucking high heels. She like got it out of her leg. She's wearing like high heels. I don't know where the fuck it was. Just saying. I mean, there's certain ways to get things into prison. You know, well, never mind. So magic bullshit machine knocks out the two security guards who don't ever get up again. Don't ever raise a red flag. They're going to like lose their memory. It's just very convenient. So it's just this ragtag crew sitting around and like enjoying the party when they should be focusing on the mission, but they're all like getting drunk. Rios, who just got busted by ICE and was talking about how terrible this time period was, then all of a sudden goes on a whole thing like, oh my God, the food is great. The cigars are real. Look at these matches. I love the 21st century. And I heard Robert Meyer Burnett say this, and I absolutely believe him. Or was it Red Letter Media? One of the two said it. Like, no, it was Red Letter Media. It was, I think they're just giving each episode to different people, which they are, and they're just not paying attention to the last one, or they change the plans, or they don't give a fuck. Oh, I know what it is. They don't give a fuck. I've been told that. They just don't give a fuck. So whatever. So why should you? Why should you even watch it? So yeah, security guards are all done, dealt with. Picard is sounding very tired, and like he's trying to flirt with Laris, not Laris. And Laris, not Laris, is kind of flirting with him. And I'm like, I could give a fuck about this. And Rios and Rafi are talking about 7 of 9, who like doesn't do anything this episode. Just talks to people and flirts at the party. Then Picard runs into, I'm doing this out of order because I just don't care. But oh yeah, Rafi sees a vision of Eleanor again, and I'm like, why aren't you seeing visions of your son and your grandson that he just had? That's in a reality that you're trying to save, but you're thinking about this other kid. Yeah, you are a shitty mom, Rafi. Shitty mom. So she tugs her ear when she's depressed, and what they're trying to do is keep Q from preventing her going on this mission. That's why they're at the party, because this is the last public place she's going to be in until she goes into quarantine for 10 hours, which, yeah, the omnipotent Q couldn't do something. He's like malfunctioning a little bit, but he's able to get around. And they're not like, we're okay, so I thought this was 8 episodes. It's 10 episodes. So that was depressing enough to find out about. So we're well over halfway through. We are 4 episodes left. We no Q this episode at all. And he's barely been in anything. And he's malfunctioning. We don't know how. He can still like blip out from places and impersonate therapists and shit, and somehow concoct limited cures for genetic daughters that Soong has, which we'll talk about in just a second. Borg Queen is developing quite the relationship with the drummer from Scott Pilgrim. She just wants to see her do better. She loves her acting more confident. And I'm like so sick of this trope now, of the Tilly trope. Of we got to have the the semi ADHD geek girl, who lacks confidence and needs positive affirmation from every fucking character at all times, including Agnes needing positive affirmation from the Borg Queen. The Borg Queen. Going, you go, girl. It's like, what the fuck reality am I in? I mean, the Borg Queen is not a symbol of feminism or independence. She literally needs everybody. So Dr. Soong, not the one from Star Trek The Next Generation, not the descendant from Picard Season 1, but the descendant of the descendant in Picard Season 2, runs into Picard. Robot Picard, not the real Picard from Next Generation, not the fake Picard who was alive in Picard Season 1, but the fake Picard who's dead and a fucking robot in Season 2. So they run into, you follow me now? Good. I'm glad, because there'll be a test later. They meet each other, and he's a total dick, and he's like, Picard. And he's like, what up, bitch? And he goes, yeah, I don't know what's going on between you. We have a mutual friend, Q. And he's like, Q's not my... he goes, I'll do my Picard impression, sorry. Q's not my friend. And, Brent Spinner, the only thing he's ever been able to do is Data, okay? Not a great actor. I repeat, not a great actor. Overacts a little bit, a little cheesy. I mean, just Data was great because it required no emotion. And no, I didn't like him in Independence Day. I hated him in Independence Day. All right, so he threatens to take out Picard. I was about to say, do you remember last episode? No, you don't. You didn't see it. So in the last episode, this descendant of Dr. Soong was disgraced. He was fired from the company he was working for. There were headlines, disgraced mad scientist, Dr. Soong. So he goes to the Europa mission and buys his way onto the board. The guy who was just literally canceled in the 24th century buys his way into the board, and then says, get this guy Picard out of here. He's dangerous. And he starts running. The power goes out. People are running. And then the drummer from Scott Pilgrim starts fucking singing. And there's a whole singing routine. Quite frankly, just went through the song, didn't listen to the song, just hit my 10 seconds forward a couple times. Song was over. Thank God. And then the Borg Queen goes, oh, that's good. You're getting out. Those were the endorphins I needed to take over your body. Thank you very much. She takes over her body and leaves. Nobody fucking notices. Nobody asks what's going on. No, whatever. So they're after Renee. Renee texts her therapist saying, oh my God, I can't do this. By the way, this was a charity event to get, donors right before she was going to take off and go into quarantine. So she's going to quit as she takes off. Picard's able to get alone with her and gives her another pep talk, because all the women that we know nothing about in the show need constant affirmation. You know what this makes women look like? It makes them look weak. So in your big effort, your huge effort, remember, they have tried Star Trek Discovery, for a Star Trek show with no straight white men on the bridge. That was their goal. That was their fucking goal. Same goal with Doctor Who. They wanted to have the first TARDIS without a straight guy. And they did for a few minutes. And those few minutes, yes, Yaz and the Doctor were scissoring away. Fucking scissoring! So she gives a pep talk, and Picard gives a pep talk, walks away. Soong is in a Tesla, and he tries to hit. We thought Soong was going to take out Jean-Luc Picard, but he was going to take out Renee Picard. He tries to hit her, misses, takes out Picard. Picard robot gets hit by a fucking car, like pretty hard. They can't take him to an ambulance because he's a robot. So of course they take him to the illegal doctor that they busted in episode 1. How they got there, don't really know. They don't show you. So Picard, she tries the defibrillator on, and it like fires back. So they are referring to his robot body, and it just reminds you how fucking dumb it is because he's dead. He's a robot. And they're trying to defibrillate a robot. Just, I don't know, reboot him. So this, I'm telling you, this is the entire episode. So they get to the fucking hospital, and that's where we spend the rest of the episode. There's like 10, 12 minutes to go. And it's just them reviving Picard. And then they don't, by the way, they don't have any hollow equipment, no hollow doctor. They've got all their other technology, but they don't have any medical equipment. But Laris, not Laris, has this little pen that could scan his brain perfectly and tell you like what he's thinking about, but practically, and offers to go in his head. But this takes forever. Rios argues with the doctor. Rafi, for some reason, is like, no, we can't go into his head to save the future. That might hurt him or something. I mean, yeah, the whole future's on the line, but we don't want to mess with his head. So they do this fake arguing, and then Lars is like, I'm going in. Rios is like, she should go in. She should go in Picard's head. Vaya con Dios. And then, Rios really hams up the Espanol. Just to let you know that I am a Latino in the cast. So, yeah, they just fucking go back and forth on whether they should go in Picard's head. Picard's having flashbacks about my mom that we've seen over and over again. Now, I paused at a couple of points, and there's guys with, like, demon faces and stuff, so it's some nightmarish thing. It's either his dad beat the shit out of his mom and killed her, or the Borg came and got her, or she committed suicide, and Picard thinks it's his fault, and he hasn't really dealt with it until he was 97 years old. Oh, we also find out Soong's daughter discovers Google and finds out that she's like a clone. And like the 7th copy or something like that. This episode was called One of Two, which was almost the only clever thing they've ever done. But then I thought of it as regards to shit, the shit that it is, and I called it One of Number Two. So that's where it ends. They ends with Laris. That's their big ending. Laris is like, okay, I've got my magic bullshit machine, and I'm going to go inside Picard's head, and then she's going to watch him cry for his mommy, and she's going to rub his little bald head, and then bring him back. And the Borg Queen is taking over Agnes, and they just showed her walking down the street with ominous music, and we're like, what? She's going to simulate L.A.? Not even the Borg Queen could assimilate L.A. The narcissism is too strong. Too strong. It would reverberate back. Her attempts to assimilate the narcissism would reverberate back and break her subconscious. Oh, what did Laris, not Laris, call her little machine? It was called the Neural Optical Interceptor. Yeah, Desperate Housewives. That's who the writers were. Desperate Housewives. We're desperate Star Trek fans. We're desperate for good Star Trek. Now, there's Star Trek fans who will just eat up anything that's called Star Trek. And that, like, okay, that's fine. Just know that you have sealed the fate of Star Trek. You have sealed the fate. This is your Star Trek from now on. So I hope you like it. I hope you truly like it, because that hope of things are getting better, we are headed towards the 3rd season of Picard, the 5th season and final season of Star Trek Discovery. Strange New Worlds is going to be just as shit as everything else. And if you don't think so, well, then I've got a lot of land to sell you in California. And there's Prodigy, which is a repurposed kid show. And then there's Lower Decks, which I could give a fuck about. It's just Rick and Morty, but dumber Star Trek. And I'm not the biggest Rick and Morty fan in the world. Don't hate it. Don't like it. Whatever. I'm indifferent about it. But that's where it ended. So the big news was getting that teaser for season 3. And they're bringing back the entire cast except for Will Wheaton. For one season. And people got excited. And I'm like, why are you getting excited? For one, these people have been parading around acting like fucking idiots, all but a couple of them, for the last 3 years. Openly campaigning for candidates and shit. Using Star Trek as the platform. So all of a sudden, if the original cast comes back, Akiva Goldsman's writing gets better. Alex Kurtzman's show running gets better. It's not like Ronald D. Moore is coming in to run the show. What happened to Warner Brothers should have happened to Paramount a long time ago. Like, everybody should have been fired. And any person who gives Alex Kurtzman a contract should be banished from entertainment for eternity in all realities. That's a fixed point in suck. All right, let's get to you guys. I can't talk about this shit anymore. I was having such a good day. That's a fucking Picard. Oh, as far as Moon Knight goes, so what I do with Disney Plus series for the most part, I skipped Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think it was just time. Why did I skip Falcon? Oh yeah, we were prepping for our trip to Texas to go house hunting. So, but with Disney Plus series, I'll review the first episode and then I'll review the season. Or yeah, either way, I do two videos, either first half of the season or first episode and the rest of the season, depending on the length of the season. Depending on the length. That's what she said. That's what she said. Yes, there will be a full video review for this in season 1. This is going to force my hand to finish. But it's almost better that I waited because I wanted to see if season 2 could get as bad as season 1, and it did. It did. And seeing that season 3 trailer was hilarious. I just like, wow, they know it sucks. And that was everybody's reaction. Okay, let's go over to Super Chats. God, that coffee's good. The Grizzly for $10. I'm glad I never watched Discovery or Picard. Sad that this season of Orville looks like its last. At least we get one more season of good Seth Trek. Yeah. Just think, we could be watching the Orville right now, Seth. Tom, Constantino. Talking to you guys. We could be watching the Orville. We got to wait till June, which isn't that far away now. I saw little bits of it. You saw what I saw now, right? But they polished it up and fuck, do the effects look good. Wow. So and they've been working on this for a long time. I visited the set like 2 years ago when the Coof just started. Or it was right before it. I believe it was right before it. It's pretty impressive. They had a sound stage and like it's 2 levels and it's the Orville. It's the entire bridge and corridors of the Orville. So I got to walk around that. That was fucking cool. That was cool, I'll admit. I was walking around with George R. R. Martin too. Tom's a sweet guy. He set up like our tour together. And, you know, I don't know if like Tom Constantine probably, he has no time to watch my videos. So, but apparently George does, because George R. Martin, by the way, was shaking everybody's hand and he didn't shake mine. I don't blame him. I don't. I really don't. Judicon for $5. Hail, Gary. I haven't watched this episode yet, but it sounds like they filmed a Hollywood party and called it Star Trek Picard episode. Yes. I think this was like, let's just give this one to the Kurtzman B squad. I mean, the Kurtzman A squad is a real writer's, I don't know, coffee fetcher. But they're B squad, so they gave it to the B squad so they could work on season 3 and still suck. Yeah, I love when the Drekkies go, ha ha, we're getting a season 4 and 5. And I'm like, are you calling that a win? Bruh, that ain't a win. As I have said, since I think the 4th episode of season 1, the worst thing that can happen to Star Trek is for Alex Kurtzman to make more of it. I mean, okay, you win. You got a lot more shitty Star Trek. Well done. Dog hair. She has 2 places to smuggle women privilege. This is true, Eric K. For $2. This is true. Samurai Shafik for 10 Canadian pesos. Picard told Renee to look up what if the board queen is Renee Picard. Don't care. Probably is. It could be Renee Picard. It could be Picard's mom. Picard could have sex with his mom. I don't fucking know. Picard could reunite with Data. I don't care. I don't know. I don't care. I just want it to be over. Patrick sounds super old, though. Like Girardi, come in, Girardi. It sounds sad. It does. With these writers, anything stupid can be possible. Yes, you can count Samuel Shafik. Anything stupid could be a possibility. That's right. Not even a possibility. They will find it. Brian Barlow for $10 says, Gary, do you think synthahol a la Star Trek would affect your sobriety in the same way the real stuff does? Hail to the fellowship. Synthahol? Yeah. I mean, like, I don't drink non-alcoholic beer because there's still alcohol in it. So, no, I don't. The only alcohol I consumed in my sobriety was at a couple of communions I was at churches I didn't take part in, but I just I had to go through with it. So that was it. And that was years ago. But no, I haven't consumed any alcohol to get drunk since the early 90s. I mean, I fell off the wagon since then, but I didn't drink when I fell off the wagon. Will Disney, by the way, Brian Barlow, thank you for the $10. Western Civilization, bless you, for $5. Will Disney remake The Black Hole starring Jada Pinkett Smith? Oh! I don't know, but she was in Moon Knight. She was in the 2nd episode of Moon Knight. No, not really. It was just a bald black woman. I know The Quartering made 17 videos today. I think one of them said Will Smith's going to rehab. Is that true? I called that. I mean, a lot of people did, but I called it that night. I was like, oh, he's going to go to rehab. There's a lot of, I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, dude. This is Will Smith's responsibility. Jada Pinkett Smith. It sounds like a very bad person. Will Smith has perfectly working legs and lots of money. And sure, you want to preserve the relationship and kids, but like, yeah, there's a point where it's poison and it gets bad for the kids and you got a divorce and it sucks. It sucks for the kids. It totally fucking sucks. But if your partner, be it dude or chick, cannot like stop fucking lying or going out and cheating with people who hang out with your son, that's worse, in my opinion. But this is the Hollywood way. This is why so many kids get fucked up there. This is why if you love your kids, keep them away from Hollywood. Period. Matthew Spathis for $10. Gary, I know this is off topic, but why isn't anyone concerned about the true dislikes or for the rangs of power? My mind went to the YouTube is changing and really hiding on the back end. Did you see my video today? Matthew Spathis? I talk about it. I do talk about it. But the fact of the matter is, and we're going to talk about this on Friday Night Tights. I think, and this could be bad for me. This like could be bad for me, for Ryan, for Az, for anybody who creates content. I am calling into question the integrity of the numbers now. I never thought that they were perfect. But the thing is, if they're lying about numbers, that means they're lying about them to advertisers, which would be breaking the law. Facebook just got fucking fined to hell for that. And that's very, very bad. It's very, very bad. And, you know, we don't get breakdowns of our pay. We don't. I try not to make an issue with it because I'm grateful, right? You know, whatever. But we don't get breakdowns. So there's a lot of room for skullduggery, let's just say. And I have no doubt. I have seen dislikes disappear before with Star Trek. With Star Trek. Because the episode that they put of Star Trek Discovery in season 1 or 2 on YouTube was starting to get ratioed and they deleted. And I think the same thing happened. They protected Star Wars. We know they protected Captain Marvel on Rotten Tomatoes. There's precedence. They admitted to protecting Captain Marvel. They changed their whole system on Rotten Tomatoes because of Captain Marvel. So, yeah, I think there's a serious issue there. But I do believe Disbrew talked about it today. But just based on normal interaction, I just go to like a Critical Drinker video. You want to go to a video with 500,000 or 1 million views. Pick your favorite YouTuber, whatever. And go look at their likes and dislikes. And then you can combine them both, add them both, and that'll be a percentage of the views. And that's your percentage of interaction, roughly, right? It was way off to begin with. Now, a lot of times it's way off on trailers because they're embedded, which means somebody goes to a website, it fires up. Nobody's really watching it, but it counts as a view. So it's a way of falsely inflating your views. Star Trek does this all the time because they own a ton of websites. So they embed all of their fucking videos. So you'll see a video with 1 million views and 6,000 likes. That is wrong. The true interaction of that video is probably somewhere around 80,000 views. So that 1 million view video isn't really a 1 million view video. So I'm sure they get some kind of deal with YouTube if you advertise. I don't know this. This is just my purely speculative. There are ways to falsely inflate views. It's perfectly legal. It's perfectly fine. But true interaction, you're going to see 24, 30,000, 50,000, 60,000, sometimes 70,000 likes on a 1 million view video. And sometimes you get 1 million views. You should get 1 million likes on a video with 30 million views. 500,000 likes, 200,000 likes, 100,000 likes on a video with 30 million views and only 168,000 dislikes. Either way, it's still ratioed. Michael Strathmore for 5 Canadian pesos. Crew forgets Girardi inside an expert Daystrom Institute a cyberneticist who studied androids with Bruce fucking Maddox and then killed him. But sure, take Picard to the 2024 doctor. Yeah, right? They forgot everything. They forgot everything. Good one. Good one. Well done there. I think I know the answer. Can my exozone come back? Live long and prosper. No. Big Worm for $5. Not today, not this month, not next month. Maybe someday. You never know. You never know. But not anytime soon. I've got enough to do. I'm behind enough already. Let's go to donations. So Serenity N7 for $5. Hail, Gary. Star Trek Picard is just atrocious. Yes, it is. I swear I'm watching a really bad spoof. I don't know why I continue to torture myself. Also, YouTube sounds pretty sus. It does now, and I don't want it to be, because that's I truly believe that's the one thing that holds it together is people believe in those numbers, man. And those numbers have to be real. And I don't mean like perfect, but I would only allow you to be off by 100 either way. People start thinking those numbers are fake, your whole fucking platform falls apart overnight. So is it worth protecting a $1 trillion corporation? Now, as far as I know, I can't go and delete dislikes. I wouldn't even dream of it. But I can't do it. I can delete comments if I want to, which I don't do. YouTube does a lot of holding. I can't do much about that. But I don't delete comments. Yeah, I don't know. There was something going on, but I think that something revealed something. It wasn't screwing things up. I think it revealed something. What that is, I don't know. I don't know. The screen is, I need to blow the screen up a little bit. There we go. Bradley Burnett for $15. Thank you, Bradley. And thank you, Serenity N7, by the way. Serenity's great fucking movie, by the way. There is so much I hate about new Trek, but one that really pisses me off is that the producers try to make Trek or our world. It is not. We didn't have eugenics wars. Voyager barely skirted the issue. Don't put our world in it. Let Trek be Trek. Exactly. There's World War III. There's the Bell Riots. There's all kinds of shit that didn't happen in our reality because Star Trek is a different world. But they don't care. They've always seen canon as it could be a total gift, by the way, if you're creative enough, but they're not. They just wanted a franchise. Kurtzman went to the franchise store and bought a franchise. He didn't care about Star Trek. He just wanted a franchise. Couldn't give a fuck what that franchise is. Now, this little fucking narcissist fucking soy bag thinks he's prominent when all he's creating is utter shit. And instead of going out and hiring talented writers, which his ego prevents him from doing, by the way, he could go out and get fucking Naren Shankar and Ronald D. Moore. There's fucking people you can get. I think Melissa Snodgrass is out there. She's just writing wild card books. I'm sure you could talk her into maybe fucking writing a Star Trek script. But you know what? No, she would come. And whatever it is, I don't know what the process is in the room. It's the process. Like Kurtzman poisons whoever comes around and writes for him. Including Desperate Housewives writers. Whoops. Spilled a little coffee on my keyboard. That's never good for it. Jabron Jones for $5. I'm having abdominal reconstruction surgery at the end of the month and will be stuck in a hospital for 7 days. So I'll be looking forward to the Real BBC and Friday Night Tights. Any recommendations for audiobook companies that don't break the bank like Amazon does? Jabron, I'm sorry, did I say it's Jabroni Jones? Did I say it right in the first play? I would say you can find a lot of audiobooks on YouTube that will not cost you anything. But if you're just going to buy one, I think you could sign up for Audible. I think it's like $14. You get 3 books, and then you can just cancel after that. And that's kind of worth it. I think it's $15. You get 3 books. Or you can just go on YouTube and search it out. Highly recommend Lord of the Rings, BBC audio drama. It's the greatest thing ever made. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, another BBC audio drama that's fucking one of the greatest things ever made. If you're a Star Wars fan, there's the Star Wars radio show, one of the greatest things ever made. I used to love A Song of Ice and Fire audiobooks, but I can't recommend that. They just released Elric. Elric is really fucking good. So there are your suggestions. If you want good sci-fi. I've been like reading so much fantasy lately. Yeah, I would just stick with those. You can't go wrong with those. If you haven't, if you have heard them before, you can listen to them again. Bradley Burnett for $20. Gary, I want to share my email chat I had with a college buddy who I known for 30 years following True Trek fan. Him, Strange New Worlds. Is it possible it won't suck? Me, producer is Kurtzman. Nope. Him, alas, you are probably right. Rest in peace, Trek. Rest in peace, Trek. Yeah, I like Anson Mount. I think he's a good Pike. It'll suck. They continue to bring our world into Star Trek because that's all they know. These are woke, untalented people. Andy Evans for $3. I'm watching 2005 Doctor Who. I'm on season 4. I love this. First watch through. Thanks to you and your Brits on the Real BBC and Friday Night Tights, I finally started Doctor Who. Andy Evans, if I could watch it again for the first time, that was so fucking epic. Oh, I'll never forget. I was sitting on the couch. With my son when the Master came back. That one just seared in my head. And I'll admit it. I was like waiting for the Master to come back, right? Just waiting for the opportunity. But I didn't see it coming at all. I should have, but I didn't. I didn't see it coming. So it was a total surprise. Once they broke out the fob watch, I knew, right? Like, once Martha started talking about the fob, I'm like, oh no. It was so fucking great. It was so great. Back when it was fun. I remember watching the end of season 2 of Game of Thrones. I was just talking about this with Mahler. 3 blasts and the zombies came off that was so fucking rad. That was so good. Too bad it ended like shit. Bradley Burnett for $20. Wow, in 2024, ICE is so bad. Rounding up foreign nationals who unlawfully entered the United States. I know, jerks. Must be a lot of them because Orange Man bad. Nope, maybe because Uncle Joe canceled Title 42. It is Biden's America. Producer didn't realize that their Trek was the Biden administration. I love it. I know. That was the one thing I talked about. I'm like, I know this is going to be like Orange Man bad season, and Biden's going to be in office. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. I'm going to reveal to you what I said to Jeremy after Trump lost. A perfectly legal election, by the way. Totally legal election. Certified. Everything's cool. The media has not lied to us once. But I told Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, I said, this is going to be the best thing that's ever happened to you, dude. If we survive. I said, if we survive the next 4 years, it's gonna help a lot of things. Sometimes you just got to hit bottom. You know? And it's risk. It's pretty risky. But I think people are finally starting to realize. I was just speaking to another prominent creator a couple of hours ago when we were just having a discussion. Like, don't you feel like shit's changing now? Like shit's turning around? Like we had a bunch of people like protesting Disney. And people are going, it was organized. Yeah. They organized a protest of Disney. What? Oh, wish we could have had that 3 years ago. 3 years ago, we had people on that side calling us grifters, and we don't know what we're seeing shit. I love Carrie Smith put up a post of Bill Maher mocking Prager for saying that, to Bill Maher, he goes to Bill Maher, men menstruate now. And Bill Maher was just like, don't be ridiculous. Nobody's heard this story, and clowned him and clowned him and clowned him. And now Bill Maher's calling this shit out like he's been there the whole time. Yeah. So there is the bitterness of us calling this shit out for years now. Years. And now people are going, maybe things are really a bit too woke. Oh, well, Russell Brand's awesome. I like what he's saying, but dude, this guy was completely on the fucking other side 1 year ago. 1 year ago. Yeah. So shit's turning around. It just cost us Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, Marvel Comics, DC Comics, probably The Lord of the Rings, a couple of good shows like Westworld, Game of Thrones, Legion, Alter Carbon, Umbrella Academy, fantasy books, science fiction books, commercials, all of pop culture, award shows, movies, sports. That's all it cost us. Public schools, not much. Banking system, money. I left my state for political reasons. Yeah, it didn't cost us much. Gary, I don't know about you, but the other night on Tim Pool, they were talking generally about how bad New Trek was. The guest called Rafi a Star Trek affirmative action hire, which she is, laughing my ass, especially after Tim's prior opinion. Yes, Bradley, I need to get that clip. Because I was like, oh, here we go. We're gonna argue. Hey, it's not like I've been invited back. Would I go if I was invited back? The answer, if he asked me now, the answer would be no. The answer would be no. I'm not traveling anywhere. I got to get this shit done in here. I'm looking over at my empty walls that that's what I've been working on. That's why I didn't do the nooner. I was working on the video. I'm getting my office set up. There's still a ton to unpack. I am not Joe Rogan. I can't hire people to do this. I do it myself. It's fun, but it's the last motherfucking time I'm doing it. Promise you. Next time it's a fucking green screen. Bradley Burnett, thank you again. Man, you're awesome, dude. Thank you for the $15. It says there is, I read that one. So, okay. So we're all caught up on that side. Western civilization. All right, let's refresh. I mean, I just want good Star Trek. I would take fucking mediocre Star Trek. I've been saying that since this started. I would take mediocre Star Trek, like the later Q episodes, the later Borg episodes in Voyager. I would fucking take that. I would take Enterprise season 1, except for that fucking theme song. Fuck that fucking theme song. Been a long time. You're a Zuya for $20. Thank you. Hey, Gary. I have an odd question. I never get odd questions on this show. I never ask odd questions. About Lord of the Rings. I'm a fan of the movies, but too lazy to read. Just curious, is the world actually called Middle Earth? Yes. Well, Arda. It's got a few names, but Middle Earth is what it's called. It seems strange to me. Characters call it, it's like they know they're inside Earth. Well, it's Midgard. It's based off of Midgard. So Norse mythology. Midgard is Earth. Asgard is another realm. Nine Princes of Amber. That's a good book. That's a good book. One of my favorite. Just made me think of that because it's got a little bit of Norse, but a lot of Arthurian stuff going on. It's fucking awesome. But yeah, that's what it's based on. If you don't want to read it, listen to it. Andy Serkis just did a new audiobook of The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, and he does a great job reading it. Or Robert Inglis was the guy who did it before, like back in the day. And like, it sounds like he recorded it like on his wooden desk. And you can hear like birds in the background, people walking around in his room and shit. It's great. But that's like that. Those were audiobooks back in the 80s, I think. People just got out their cassette recorder and just started fucking reading. Drummer Dude 2112 for $4.99. We should have protested Disney for their treatment of Star Wars sequels alone. That was a disgrace. We all know it. I totally agree. We were trying to rally people for a long time, but listen, when you mess with people's kids, dude, that crosses the line. And did anybody see the Bob Chapek? Russo posted Bob Chapek looking like he just got prison raped. And apologizing and groveling to the Disney staff. Best name I can think of for $19.99. That's a good name. My girl had an intervention to get me to take a break from Elden Ring. LOL. Good. That's a good woman. At least she's like going, hey, play all the Elden Ring you want, honey. I'm going to go out with the pool boy. And then Carlos, the gardener, the next day. What are some of your favorite comic book runs that you would recommend? Oh my God. I ain't got all night. You ain't got all night, but quickly. Read anything from Daredevil 100 to 500. Read anything from Batman 200 to 600. I would say the Elektra saga is one of my favorite sagas. The Dark Phoenix saga for X-Men. These are like basic bitch ones though. Eclipse Comics did an adaptation of The Hobbit, which is quite good, written by Chuck Dixon. I was just talking about it in my last video. Haven't thought about that in a long time, but they have a graphic novel for that. That's pretty good. For more modern stuff, I guess my favorite modern stories were Guardians of the Galaxy that came out in 2005 were quite good. Jeff Johns, who all the Snyder boys hate and girls hate, Wrote some of the best JSA. Wrote some of the best DC I've ever read. Teen Titans run. It's really good. But if it's going to be one, I've got to do that Daredevil Elektra saga. Heartbreak Ridge. I've got all of it on my spinner rack right now. Highly recommend the audiobooks for Monster Hunter International series by Larry Carrera, who is based as fuck. Loads of toxic masculinity and gun porn. Oh shit, I am there. Thank you, Heartbreak Ridge. Bubba Doom. Happy old sci-fi question. Are there little aliens inside all the Daleks? Or is that a relic from season 1 Doctor Who? I'm really enjoying the first Doctor, though. I know it leads to Dr. Karen. Well, do you want me to spoil it for you? Yes. There's little aliens in there. But there's a story. There's a pretty sick and demented story to them. Think about like the ultimate like space Hitler, right? Davros. And he called the Doctor the Destroyer of Worlds, which was awesome. Michael B, a.k.a. Shogun Gaming, for 14 Danish krona, a phallic unicorn. All right. Now, the reason I called it a phallic unicorn was Brie Larson did a movie called The Unicorn Store. And the theme of the entire movie was Brie needed some cock. And the reason I know that is because my older sister sat me down and told me that unicorns are like allegories for dick. are like an allegory for a woman's obsession with the cock. My sister told me that story, so it must be true. I have to believe all women. Dr. Fauci's prison butt. For $5. Gary and Picard, watch something great. Succession on HBO Max is the best show on TV, and I'd love a review. Are you sure that's not woke? Are you sure Succession isn't woke? Hi, every time I hear ratio in my mind, I hear ratio, like in Hook. I know I'm a geek. Tell Mrs. N howdy. I will, April N. Ray, and thank you for $5, and don't ever apologize for being a geek or a nerd. Hook. Yeah, I couldn't stand that movie. I always thought it was the weirdest concept. I'm like, Spielberg is directing Robin Williams in fucking Peter Pan? What? That's when Spielberg started losing it. Kate Capshaw. Kate Capshaw was his Yoko Ono, but worse. Did anyone else notice that 7 of 9 had no lines in this episode? Yeah, I did. She sat there and nodded. I'm like, Jerry Ryan. Like, it's still hot. She's still hot. Looks great. Looks great. She's in a stupid fucking series. I've noticed that Isa Brione's put on a couple of pounds since even the first episode. That's Soji, by the way. No, it's Corin or fucking, I don't know. I don't care. She was in a few scenes, but she didn't say anything. It was really weird. It was really weird. Woot! From John Ghost for $20. I appreciate that. Ditzy Ditzy for 125 Martian pesos. I don't even know what the denomination is there, but welcome. Hi, Gary. Highly recommend the first 60 episodes of One Piece. The first six, that's all? The first 60 episodes? Fucking. I'll watch it. Only 20 minutes per episode. Okay, that's reasonable. And it ends on a good note where you can stop and keep watching. Okay. As soon as I'm done with Parasite, I'm going to head over to that and then do My Hero Academia. Thank you. The Art of the Real for $25. Is a Streamlab donation better than a super chat? Yes, it is. This is what I do for you. This is for you, for what you do. You're doing more of it, and and for the past associations. Okay. Well, I thank you, Art of the Real, for $25. That's very generous. Thank you. Yeah, Streamlab, YouTube does not get a cut, period. It goes through like your credit card or PayPal or whatever thing, but it's totally up to you. It's all gravy, baby. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Or you could just kick back and enjoy. That's fine, too. It's more than fine. It's brilliant. The Grizzly for $20. Also, a bit off topic, but the new Lego Star Wars game came out. Don't buy it, anyone. Yes, it has the prequels in it, but they do heavily. I heard it's woke as hell. They made Finn and Poe a couple and Rey being front and center on the title. Yeah, I saw Mahler dragging it. Lego games are usually pretty good, but like I haven't played one since like Lego Harry Potter. So how long ago was that? I was in San Francisco and I think it was on my PlayStation 3. 10 years? Maybe? Bradley Burnett for $10 on the donation side says, Gary, I absolutely would take Voyager. I would absolutely take Enterprise. Do you know why? I think you do, because it respected the canon. That is all we fans want. Respect the past. Don't remake it. It ain't rocket surgery. It is to these people. See, talent is a foreign thing. See, the underrepresented species in Hollywood is POTs, people of talent. To succeed in Hollywood now, you need to be more talented at bullshit than at writing and telling a good story and inspiring people. And if you want to get a message across once in a while, the best way to do it is with a good story told with empathy, right? Like not with fuck the Nazis. I'm going to write this to piss off all the Nazis. And I am loving, and I mean loving, the fact that anybody who supports the Disney bill is being called a fucking groomer. Like, how could you call us groomers? Same way you could call us Nazis for fucking 4 years. You see how that goes? And this was what I was trying to warn you about 3 years ago. I'm like, you know what's going to happen? Pendulum's going to swing. You think it's good? Like, oh, sweet summer child, you think things are going to stay the same? All right, I got to roll. Bubba Doom for $10 says, oh, I read that one. I really got to roll, though. Eric K says, do a Farscape review cleansing. I might. I want to watch it again. I need to be on a schedule, Eric. Once I get this motherfucking room done. Or at least I get to a point where I can, it's probably going to be a month. I got to be realistic about this. It's probably going to be like a month till we're completely settled. I've only been here a month. And we've gotten a lot done. Junior is going to get a nice private school. It's going to be fucking expensive, but it's worth not putting him in fucking public school. Right now he's being homeschooled. Yeah, we got to get ready for the meetup in Texas and Vegas. Enrico Palazzo for $5 says, I know he's in the San Antonio area. Any chance of, wait, I got to read this whole, I can only see part of it. Why is that? What's Demolition Ranch? Any chance of a visit to Demolition Ranch? I don't know what that is. Enrico? Do they do demolition there? Like Demolition Derby? Well, you've got me hooked now. I've got to find out more on Davros. Oh, Davros. Bubba Doom is fucking awesome, dude. Brett Tesdale for $4.99. Hail, Gary, what went to go get some Nerdrotic Blend KKK cups from Geek Grunt and they sold out? Hope they're getting a cut. Hope you're getting a cut of the sales. They'll make more, Brett. They'll make more. So hang in there, buddy. We'll get you some. I didn't know they were sold out. That's crazy. Have you read Project Hail Mare by Andy Weir? I highly recommend it. His Artemis books are good as well. I've heard of those. J. Derek Williams, thank you for the $5, but I have not read the other book. Thank you for the suggestion. I wish I could stop watching Picard, but I would have to watch the car crash. Just can't look away. Same here, John Van Cleve. I'm a fan. I'm going to watch this stuff so I can at least report back to you. Matt Deckard, what's up, buddy? For $9.99. Let's meet again in Texas. I miss it much. Glenn Beck knows me from making his hats. He should know you for telling the truths. Stay golden. Hey, thanks, Matt. Well, I'm sure I'll see you again in Vegas, right? But yeah, like if you could make the trip out, I would love to see it, buddy. We're Quarter Black was on You Are Here tonight. I fire up You Are Here. I'm like, oh, he didn't even tell me he was going to be on tonight. That was weird. No, but I think it was last minute. He did great. I watched the whole thing. So yeah, we're shooting for the 16th, right? And I want to see if Eric can make it and all those people can make it. I have not been invited to the Blaze. I'm not super duper. I mean, you heard me go off in politics in this, but like, I'm not like going to go there and break down the Ukraine. Okay. That's not what I'm going to do. So they'll probably have to wait to like if they wanted, the Disney subject I could talk about for sure. Oh, 200-watt studio. For $2, he says, if Tim Pool were Vulcan, he'd be Tim Pool. Or better yet, he'd be T'Pool. But I added that in there, 200 watt, and I think you know what I'm saying. It'd be no difference. T'Pool. Tim Pool's a serious guy. He's a serious guy, but he's cool. He was cool. He was cool. Very generous. Showed me around his house. His house is fucking badass, dude. Is for somebody so young to like, it's inspiring. It's America Dream shit that this little skater kid from Chicago can make his own little empire. That's fucking awesome. There's nothing bad about that at all. You might not like him, but you got to respect that the guy like hustled, just hustled. That's all that was just grinding. It's impressive. Gives you hope for the world. It really does. All right, these are going to be the last ones, folks. I gotta go. It is. I actually have more stuff to do after this. Yorazura sent you Yorazuya for $5. Thank you. Sent you something. Thank you. You should get it over the weekend. Don't want to ruin it, but it's something you said you haven't read yet. Hope you like it. Ooh, awesome. Thank you. Brilliant. Oh my God, you guys are so, for one, my wife went over. Somebody invited my wife over to their, I guess, ranch. And if you're watching, sorry if I'm getting any of this wrong. I've been basically in this room since that day, which was 3 days ago. And gave her like eggs and like goat's milk and like soap, like homemade. So it was like really cool. And then the guy gave me like, this is awesome. He gave me his Fleer Spider-Man cards. I used to have all these. I sold them at the shop. I remember collecting these. I fucking love Spider-Man 2099. And he gave me his cards. So they'll be hanging up on the walls, by the way. Oh, and then they gave me like a beard balm. Like homemade beard balm. Good stuff. Oh, and then somebody sent me a fucking Tolkien. It was Larry Herzog Jr. sent me a Tolkien keyboard. It is so rad. I'm afraid to use it. It is a fucking Tolkien keyboard. It's got like a little ISR. It's got a one ring key. It's awesome. I'm afraid to use it, though. I don't want to fuck it up. I'm horrible on keyboards. Okay. Cliff, 3188. Gary, I tried catching up on Young Justice. All it is now is pronouns, polyamorous relationships, cuckoldry, no fighting bad guys with global and higher stakes, and Mira gets declared king of Atlantis. Fuck my life. Yeah, my son, who is the biggest fan of Young Justice, is just heartbroken over what's happened. Heartbroken. Like, he's like, Dad, it's just woke shit. I'm sorry, son. Everything is. Don't feel bad. Everything is. All right, last one. Diesel for $10 says, Gary, I would like to recommend the anime Bleach. There's a ton of episodes, but you can separate them by 24-episode seasons. It's fantastic. Stay sober, my brother. One day at a time. All hail the fellowship. Hail to you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Diesel for $10. I will check out Bleach. Well, my wife will like it just for the name. Probably has zero to do with hairdressers, though. All right, we'll be back next Thursday, just in case I'm going to do the entire season. We do have a Doctor Who episode coming up on the 17th. So 10 days from now, you don't have to watch the episode. Fuck that. I'll be reviewing the BBC aired version. So, it'll be like, I think it's like 10 or 11 a.m. on Sunday, the 17th. I'll ask Az if he's awake, if he's around, if he wants to join, and we'll review some shitty Doctor Who. And that'll be the second last episode of the first female doctor played by Jodie Whittaker, who we will lovingly call Dr. Karen. And then that era will be over. Then hopefully the Star Trek era will be over. Star Wars, fuck. Them pulling out Darth Vader already, it's done. It's done. You'll have your hardcore fans who just want to see the laser swords, the lightsabers, but it's done. And people are protesting Disney. That is beautiful. Some organization tried to come out against Gina Carano at her Denver appearance. I believe it was some nonprofit who had nothing to do with the convention. So they came out and said, Gina will not be participating in any of our events. Well, she wasn't going to participate in any of the events anyway. It was just a clout-chasing fucking virtue signal. And just to show you that nonprofits, there is something to barter. There is currency, and it's not cash. Cash is not important to the SJW, to the activist, to the clout chaser. Clout. The ability to go, we did a panel at WonderCon. We sucked enough Amazon cock to do a panel at WonderCon. I would respect money more. If you're going to sell somebody out, dude, sell them out. You're going to sell your fandom out for whatever to get some clout off of Gina Carano, selling out fucking Amazon fans so you can get another interview on your, I don't want to disparage any fellow YouTubers. Let's just say, been around a long time, not very compelling. Compelling is key. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Eric. Hope you're feeling better, buddy. Eric K., the great Nerdrotic. Who else is here? Is it just Eric? Nyla Shadow. What's up, Nyla Shadow? Good to see you. Just another red shirt. Good to see you. Mark Lazarth. Good to see you. Hail. Nyla Shadow's awesome. Draco. What's up, Draco? Hey, buddy. The whole gang's here. It's awesome. Okay, so thank you, everyone. Thanks, everyone who participated. Thanks, everyone who left a super chat and a donation. Gary, my 10-year-old nephew wants to get into comics, but has no clue where to begin. Any suggestions? Says, ask Chris Nicholson for $10. Yes, I would go on Half Price Books or Amazon or even eBay and look for Marvel Essentials. They're cheap. You get like lots of books. Just get Spider-Man Volume 1. I always recommend the old books. The kids might think they're kind of lame, but they're going to get into them. Otherwise, I would say, dude, I haven't read anything new in a while. Like the first couple of volumes of Bendis's Ultimate Spider-Man are really good. They are really good. It's a little more modern. I would also recommend Batman animated series is in trade paperback form. The adaptions of the old animated series, those are really good. They're fine for a 10-year-old. I just told the story. I read The Death of Elektra when I was 11. I was fine. Chris, hope that helps. Somebody says, don't watch Bleach, Gary. All right. Do I live freed from Half Price Books, Dallas? It's a gold mine. Oh, you live? Half Price Books is awesome place, Matt. So I got a lot of deals. I love you too, Bubba Doom. Thank you very much. Thanks, Matt, for the $4.99. Hope to see you in Texas. Okay. Hope to see you in Texas. Hope to see you all in Texas. If you can't see us in Texas, then see us in Vegas. Vegas dates will be announced very, very soon. That's going to be, by the way, every year. So just so you know, it's going to be probably the same date or around the same dates as it was last year. And it's going to be at the same place. So, I mean, it's not going to be a huge surprise. Big difference is we're renting out the entire place this time. The whole place. Just for you. So thanks, everyone. Have a great night. Picard sucks. Ciao, Bella.